Hey, good morning. Today is your Monday morning devotional. My name is Nicole. I am one of the pastors here at the Crossing Church, and we are doing this every weekday morning. We are having a devotional where we can just look at something good first thing in the morning and get a good perspective on ourselves, on the universe, on God, on all of it, so that we can face this day with more strength. And so we are following this pattern called SOAP. SOAP, Scripture, Observation, Application, and Prayer. And we're counting the weekend as the S. So looking at that scripture, this last weekend we looked at Psalm 3, which means this morning we're just going to observe a couple things in Psalm 3. What I love about this is that Monday morning we're observing, which means Monday morning we don't need to have any answers. You don't have to have any answers this morning. We're just noticing things and observing things together. And because I got to speak this last weekend, you guys know my big observation from Psalm 3 was that pattern of how we handle fear in our lives, how we can process through it in a healthy way. And it was check in, look up, move forward, and call out, and then lay down. And that process has helped me so much. And so if you didn't get a chance to watch our service yet, go and watch it. It's on Facebook and our website and YouTube. But I wanted to share with you this morning a couple observations I didn't get a chance to share over the weekend. So here we go. The first one was in Psalm 3, there is a title at the beginning of it where it says, a Psalm of David when he fled from his son Absalom. And so I looked into that, right? I observed that there was a title. It's the first Psalm. Psalm 1 and 2 don't have a title like that, but Psalm 3 does. And so David was running from his son. So I wanted to find out why. And the too long didn't read answer basically is their family was a mess. Just within their immediate family, there was rape, incest, murder, adultery. And so Absalom was angry about the way his father led their family, and he was coming for vengeance. And what sticks out to me about that is there's a lot of times that we can feel fear and be on the run and be wrestling with stuff because of things that we caused. David caused a lot of why he's on the run, a lot of why he's in danger in this psalm. But he still doesn't think he's alone. He still calls out to God and knows that God hears him. And that really sticks out to me, that even when I'm on the run, or even when I'm the reason that something is wrong, even when I'm the reason that I have things to be afraid of, maybe I caused this and now there's consequences, I'm still not alone in it, that God is still in it with me and I can call out and he will hear me, and not just hear me, but answer me. And so that was one thing that I noticed about the psalm. And one other observation for this morning that ties to that is that idea that I called out to the Lord and he heard me. He answers me from his holy mountain. It made me think of this story in John 4, where Jesus is going to this well to speak to this woman, and he calls her out on her stuff too, on her past and choices that she's made. But he doesn't leave her alone. He goes to her. And then they end up having this conversation about where you have to be in order for God to hear you. And she asks him, she says, all right, so if you're such a good teacher, if you know all of these things, then where do I need to go for God to hear me? And he says, basically, all those debates, all those things everyone is talking about, all those places you think you have to go to hear God, a time is coming and has already come when inside each person is God. Where inside you will come the answer from God. That if you make room in yourself for God to be there, then God can answer you from within yourself. And the reason that stands out to me right now is we can't go to the Crossing campus. We can't even really go to the beach very easily. We can't go places. And there are places in my life where I, whether it's right or not, felt like I could hear God better, or felt like God could hear me better. And I can't really go to those places right now. And I love remembering that I don't have to go to those places for God to hear me. I don't have to go anywhere to get answers from God other than to get quiet enough to hear the answers come from right here. So I hope that you can also know that you don't have to go, even though I know that there are wonderful places that we want to go where we can hear from God and be reminded that there's more going on here than we can see, that actually right now we can hear from God even from within ourselves. That there is a Spirit of God that is in us when we invite it in, and that we can receive the answers we need from within ourselves. Even if we've got some work to do because of mistakes we've made in the past, we're not alone in it. And it can start right here, right now, wherever we are. So those are my 2 observations about this scripture. What are yours? When you look at Psalm 3, what are the things you notice? It could be anything. There's no right answer. Remember, it's Monday morning. We don't need to have any right answers. We just notice something about this psalm. So take a minute, see what you notice about it, and then come back for the rest of the week at 8 a.m. We'll continue with this process. We talked about scripture, observation, and later on this week, we've got application and prayer and some great music mixed in. So every day at 8 a.m. during the weekdays, we are here together to see what God has to say to us through the Psalms. Thanks, you guys. Again, my name is Nicole. It is wonderful to spend some time with you, and I'll see you soon. Bye.